Okay, so there's multiple types of examples on your homework worksheet for over the weekend, and what I want to do is just do one of each of them for you. So the first set of instructions says find the x and y intercepts of the graph of each equation. When you think about a graph, you've got an axis, and we know what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is where the line goes through the y-axis. Well, your x-intercept is where the line goes through the x-axis. So using some of our previous knowledge, we know that when we have a y-intercept, it's where the x value is equal to 0. So kind of using a little bit of logic here, if I have the x-intercept, it should be where the y is equal to 0. So I'm going to use that knowledge and I'm going to plug in 0 for either x or y in my equation and solve for my intercept. So if I have 6x plus 2y equals 10, in order to find my y-intercept, I need the point where x is 0. So 6 times 0 plus 2y equals 10. I'm going to solve this problem. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 2y equals 10. I don't really have to account for my 0, so I'm left with 2 times y equals 10. Well, what number times y, what number times 2 will equal 10? Y will be equal to 5. So my y-intercept is 5. I'm going to repeat that process for my x-intercept, only I'm going to plug in 0 for the y value. So I'm going to say 6x plus 2 times 0 equals 10. 2 times 0 is 0. So I have 6x plus 0 equals 10. I don't really have to count my 0. 6x equals 10. 6 doesn't go evenly into 10, so I know I have to divide both sides by 6. I can say x is equal to 10 sixths, or I can simplify to 5 thirds, whichever way you choose to do that. So you probably should simplify your answer, just so you're aware. But my x-intercept is equal to 5 thirds. Okay? The second set of instructions says write an equation in slope-intercept form. We know that form, right? It's y equals mx plus b. And they give me the slope, and they give me the y-intercept. So just write the equation. The second part says write the equation in standard form. Do not do that instruction. You don't have to. We don't know what standard form is yet. You're all set. If I plug in m and I plug in b, I've got y is equal to 5x plus 5. I'm done. That's the extent of that problem. You just have to write it in the correct form for, I believe, numbers 4, 5, and 6. Third set of instructions says find the slope and y-intercept of the graph of each equation. This equation is not in slope-intercept form, so you are going to want to put it in slope-intercept form before you can identify where your m is and where your b is. So this is where we're going to use a little bit of that algebra. At this point, y is almost by itself. It's just attached to the 7 by multiplication. So I'm going to divide by 7 on both sides. And I'm left with y equals x divided by 7 minus 10 divided by 7. Neither of those numbers will simplify, so I just have to leave it as is. If I look quickly, my b value is negative 10 sevenths. My m value is a little more complicated because I have x over 7. That's not really a proper fraction. I need to think of it as 1 times x over 7, or 1/7. Finally, instructions for set number 4. I'm sorry, I skipped a word problem. You can do that on your own. So this is standardized test practice number 11. What is the slope-intercept form of an equation for the line that passes through these 2 points? That's also a little bit of a problem. The answer is given here. It says y equals 12 times x minus 1. I'm going to show you how that works. We use those coordinate points to find the slope. So I can say x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug that in, solve for my slope, and it ends up being 12. And this coordinate point is crucial because our y-intercept is given to us. Y-intercept is wherever x equals 0. This coordinate point gives me an x value of 0, so that tells me my y-intercept, or my b value, equals 1. And you can see that is in the equation as well. So make sure you use the coordinate point to plug into your formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That'll give you the right slope, and then you can solve for your y-intercept or your b value. If you have any questions on the rest of the homework problems, that was one example of each type of problem. Please email me and enjoy your long weekend.